Ask yourself, in awakening for real, what are we actually awakening to? The biblical story of Adam and Eve provides an apt metaphor. Since birth, we have not only tasted the fruit of the tree of knowledge, we have continually gorged ourselves on knowledge, not just of good and evil, black and white, but of everything we can perceive and experience with our senses and interpret with our mind, which can be ignored but not turned off. This never-ending stream of information or knowledge, which is not wisdom, from these perceptions are then stored in our bodies, minds, and spirits as memories. This knowledge is so massive that without the enormous storage and sorting capacity of the brain, distraction, and other coping strategies, we would be overwhelmed and overcome with confusion and fear. In fact, there is a fine line in each of us between being overwhelmed or not, or even what we call sanity and even insanity. Beyond that are two simple things to remember. We can only focus on one thing at a time, and what we do perceive is an infinitesimal portion of the whole. So what does it mean then, when we are constantly using what we perceive and remember to make assessments and take action? We get a strong hint when in every moment of the day we experience the seemingly unpredictable fruits of or responses to our own choices based on that very incomplete knowledge. Further, we live amongst billions of other people doing precisely the same thing. In the context of the law of cause and effect, the personal, community, and global challenges we now and have always faced make perfect sense, especially when we habitually rely and over-rely on copying and learning from others, making rules, following beliefs, intense study, specialized skills or knowledge, scientific method, to name a few, and then filtering what we perceive through our senses, personalities, emotions, and egos to view, understand, manage, and shape ourselves, our relationships, civilization, and the sustaining but threatening world in which we live, just to cope. Understandable as this may be, born of fear, our very nature's inherent limitations in all that we have learned and been taught, we are but minnows in a vast sea of wondrous but unlimited knowledge, simply beyond our individual capacity to handle. So we block out most everything, use habit to function in most things, sort and organize the information, our thinking, and ourselves through civilization, and take comfort in an illusory sense of security through sameness and conformity in most things. Comforting as it is or may be, when you think about it, are we not like children holding on to toys, tools, and beliefs that may no longer be as useful as they once were? I'll put it to you that this reliance and way of being is precisely what is holding us back from effectively meeting those challenges, assuming our true nature and being more than just an image of God. Yes, look closely and you will indeed find and begin to grasp, as in the German proverb, that the devil indeed is in the detail of knowledge. The point being that knowledge offers a poor tool for us as humans to stay safe through control. The problem is not knowledge, but our narrow focus on detail and the lifeless machines we create to manage and homogenize that information. Knowledge are seeming facts drawn from across a vastness that we can never really perceive, know, and contain within our mind, body, and spirit as we have grown accustomed to using them. Following the path of least resistance, though we have discovered and created marvelous things, we inevitably get bogged down in the detail of an incredibly vast world at every level, from the depths of the oceans and outer space to our own minds, bodies, and spirits. The effect of this dramatically and disastrously becomes apparent within resistance to thinking and perceiving the whole world at any level, a place where everything is interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent. We thus, despite our best intentions, in ignorance, take action and reap rewards based on a vastly incomplete knowledge, with every perception and resulting action. Climate change and ill health are but two examples. To assert ourselves, let go and move on, we can and must accept, without guilt, that our choices have helped create many of the problems we deal with, personally and in the world each day. This seems hard to do in an emotionally driven culture and civilization of our own creation, which actively distracts, dulls, and seeks to overwhelm us from being awakened and aware, which are key to understanding and taking charge of our lives. Respecting but not being driven by these emotions, rules, views of other people, and effects of things we have caused is a very personal, positive, and key step forward. This is not about good or bad, but acceptance of who and what we are, and letting go of habits and ways of being that are destructive of the whole self and world. Ironically, but gladly, this can be achieved by returning to simplicity and self-healing balance, with a genuine smile and laughter in our newly awakened state. This is an empowering something we can do to undull ourselves, nurture personal awareness, and embrace the whole of ourselves. Community with the world in which we live and share will naturally follow. Rather than a fight to control a seemingly overwhelming being and existence, it allows us to sense and rejoin with others the sustaining flow and rhythm of life. In that place, all things are possible. As a starting point for some of us, one effective means I suggest is sound attunement, which can be performed on oneself to nurture awareness by helping restore self-healing balance to the body, mind, and spirit. Sound circles provide a group framework for doing sound attunement on and with each other to help challenge our habits and social constraints holding many of us back. Whatever we choose to do, the time is right to take up this challenge. Imagine what the cause and effect of doing so will be. Thank you.